Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. Sheriff, it's great to meet you in person. And by the way, you're like 6'4". I had no idea you were this tall. Sheriff, first off, what's your reaction to this media member standing up and saying, hey, the report shows I got it wrong, so I'll admit it, I was wrong, and the backlash?
Yeah, it's an act of courage, and you know, you often don't use courage in the same conversation with liberal media. He did do the right thing. You know, the truth always wins out. He knows it. As a man of integrity and character right there, and he should get the backing of his newspaper, which he probably won't. Most of the liberal media is trying to distance themselves from this thing now that the truth is out, and they're kind of trying to walk away from it, but I won't let that happen. I'm glad that that man did that. I think it restores some of the character and integrity so lacking in the liberal news media today.
Next time he talks, I'm going to listen, because I know that whether I agree with it or not, he believes it, and if he doesn't, he'll apologize. There's a huge trend. If you watch the Grammys, if you watch these award shows, Hollywood's standing up, whether it's Common, whether it's Pharrell over at the UN, you know, Pharrell Williams, who was at the Grammys, of course, with Hands Up, Don't Shoot, musical acts. What's your reaction to the power of Hollywood and the way they reacted to this whole Hands Up, Don't Shoot situation and some of the other incidents that happened?
Well, the ones that I've seen are just followers, all right? There's no leadership there. They're more interested in being hip, being cool and trendy than anything else. It's all theatrics, they know that. And but unfortunately, they command a lot of the attention of not just America in general, but the younger generation. And so they have a vehicle, and I think they have a responsibility at times. Okay, movies, theater, that's one thing. But when they start latching on to political things like this and try to capitalize and further propagate that lie, that hands up, don't shoot lie, that early on we knew. This wasn't learned at the end of this investigation. This had kind of come out during the course of the investigation, that was a lie. But again, the media then, you know, used it as a vehicle and became a wholly owned subsidiary, if you will, of this cop-hating anarchist movement.
Sheriff, as you know, this is the year the Selma movie comes out, and people look back at where we were in the 60s. Then we see all the incidents between law enforcement that have popped up with Michael Brown and then Garner here in New York. And a lot of people say, well, I'm doing the work that Martin Luther King did in the 60s. I'm following through to make sure his work is not wasted. What's your reaction to that?
This is a desecration to the life, the philosophies, the beliefs of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't preach any of this nonsense that's going on today. As a matter of fact, I believe that America has come a long way in the right direction and positively in terms of civil rights, that now they have to go out and get people who were involved in criminal behavior and hold them up as icons of the civil rights movement. In other words, we've gone from people like Frederick Douglass, we've gone from Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., to Mike Brown, who had just strong-armed a convenience store clerk before he met his fate at the hands of Officer Darren Wilson of the Ferguson Police Department, lawfully, reasonably, and justifiably, by the way. But you can see that if they have to scrape the bottom of the barrel to find icons in this movement, then America has gotten better in terms of race relations.
Sheriff, I know you're going to be in all week working with William Bratton, the NYPD. I look forward to having you back in studio. It'd be great.
My pleasure. Thanks.
All right. Sheriff, thanks so much. And thanks.